These parts will come included with the kit. You'll notice that the two smaller parts are going to go in. They'll only fit in one way. You place that one in, make sure the holes are lined up. And then there's a third piece that will fit in with the plastic trim. Place it in as such. And then there are going to be three other like pieces that stack on top of these three. You'll need a screwdriver or possibly use an Allen key to line up all 5 of the pieces so that the bolt holes will line up. Next, you take your side trim. The shorter part is going to go to the back or the front of the vehicle, while the taller portion is going to be towards the rear, the tailgate. You'll take your 4 included M8 bolts and feed them into the factory bolt holes. Then using a 5mm hex key or attachment on a power drill, you'll tighten those down. Then you'll move to the other side. It is exactly as the passenger side. The 2 small pieces, as you saw on the other side, will only go in one way. It may take a little bit of moving to get them around to get the bolt hole to line up. But as you'll see, there's only one way for those first 3 pieces to go in, as the last 3 pieces as well. As you can see, the latch goes towards the outside of the vehicle, and the hole goes towards the front of the vehicle. That's the pivot point of the PACS drawer system. While installing the 8 factory bolts back into the floor, you may want to use some Loctite medium hold to keep those bolts from coming back up and causing rattles in the product. Next, you'll take your drawer that comes pre-assembled. You'll need to remove the actual drawer out of its housing. Once you remove the drawer, you'll take the shell to the drawer. In order to slide these back in, you'll need to push up a small tang on the back of the slides. Then you'll sit the shell in between the 2 runners. At the back, you'll want to line up the bolt holes in the drawer shell with the bolt holes in the runners on the side. You'll want them even with the runners on the front. You'll see there's a plastic washer. It will go in between the shell and the side runner. It's a little tricky to get it in there, especially if you have larger hands, but it can be done. Once you have the bolt all the way through, you'll get your nylock nut started on it. And then you'll want to snug these down. You don't want to tighten it so tight where the drawer is binding when you lift up on it. You can either use a socket and a ratchet or a ratcheting open end wrench. Just remember not to tighten them too tight. Then once installed, you'll need to slide your drawer back in. The dividers can be moved. They're held in place with an M6 bolt with a 10 millimeter nut on the end of it. As you can see, there are several holes. Just pay attention to the flanges at the bottom. The dividers on the passenger side have a cutout for the flange for the center divider.